We've been waiting a long time for this weekend to come. This is going to be the first contest, and it's the first time we're ever going to get to actually use the field. This field was gotten for us basically by Rich Jacobone, Rich Peabody, Tom Hampshire, Joe Bescher, several other people that contributed to acquiring this field, and we can use it from Labor Day to Memorial Day, actually all winter. So we're kind of excited. We're going to go down there. First we'll check out what's going on in the shop, and then we're going to do Saturday we're going to set up the field, and Sunday we hope we're going to host a very successful contest. But thanks to everybody that made this contest possible. Off as we pack the van. Peeps has been doing a banner business in model airplane parts here. Hey, you bet. Go load the car, go down to your contest, just leave me plenty of little model airplane parts to eat while you're gone. Look, he's eating videos now. Hey! Hey! I'm not kidding, Peeps. I'm not kidding. We're going without you. Originally going to take him down there. He has a little traveling cage, of course, but since he's been on bad behavior, basically he's been eating labels, eating the ceiling, eating Mike's plane parts, eating tune pipes, flying around the shop, and doing what birds do best. And you know what that is. They turn food into poops. That's why we call them Peeps. A word from Elliot Scott today. Our Laser 70 is on order in England. In fact, he's getting two of them. And we can't wait to try that engine, of course. In the meantime, we have the YS to do a little testing on. That's yet to be proven. And the OS Max 70, of course. Bob Dixon's motor that, for all I can tell, is just about as reliable as a stone. It's really been working well for us. Everybody that's flown it has kind of enjoyed flying it, and it's added a nice dimension to our basic things that we can achieve and share in the hobby. And as far as I know, there's about 50 people on Bob Zambelli's 4-cycle email list as we go to video here. As of now, we haven't even put the 90 on the test bench. We're still really thrilled with the way the OS 70 is working. The YS, yet to be proven, but certainly a potent engine. And coming soon, the Laser 70. In the middle of making our Nomex flaps and elevators. They're sitting here. That's all going to be on a separate dedicated video. That's coming real soon, within the next month. We're coming up on the end of what was a wonderful flying season, a great nationals, a great Rodak meet, and we hope this final contest, we hope we're going to get some weather. We've enjoyed all our evenings and mornings having coffee out here. And we've enjoyed working in the garden, doing all the things that complement the world of model planes. Loaded up, ready to leave for the field. See what's in store for us this weekend. Now, as you know, all the proceeds from this contest are going to benefit the Teterboro Aviation Hall of Fame. Boy, they've really built this area up. Jets everywhere, big jets. You can go over and tickle their tails. Well, I'm waiting for Rich to get here. I got here before him. Our friend, the groundhog, is eating all the old McDonald wrappers that are on the field. And obviously the first thing we're going to have to do is clean up here. Yeah, they got to fly model planes here today, guys. Anyway, while I'm waiting for those guys to get here, just a little, one of our plans for the future, and we're trying to formulate a plan to make a semi-scale Typhoon with a 4-cycle. I picked up this book, it's the Squadron Book, and started reading it while we're waiting for the rest of the motley crew to get here. Excellent, excellent book. We're going to be referring to this. Lots of choices of paint jobs, lots of choices of neat stuff. I think this is going to be a pretty neat model. Anyway, this will be the plane, one of the planes on our subscriber series for next year. What I love about these books and they're relatively inexpensive. This was a $9 book. One of the things I like about doing the research for a semi-scale project is I get to learn a lot about the Typhoon. Now, the Typhoon was my first choice. Typhoon, it started as a joint project with the Tornado. It evolved into the Typhoon, which then evolved into the Tempest with a different wing. But very, very interesting aeroplane, like the Spitfire. And several choices of rudder shape, cowling shape. Again, for a $9 investment, a lot of cool ideas for future mind. What these really show, like the Spitfire, at least the inking will be relatively correct. Your panel lines, even if you're not doing a Typhoon, a good idea of how panel lines are done, typically on a real aeroplane. And like all Squadron books, they have these really neat full color pictures of all the different paint jobs right through the development phase for various air forces that the Typhoon, Tempest served in. This one with the checkerboards here, kind of neat. The later model ones with the bigger rudder, known as the Tempest. I kind of favor the Typhoon myself over the Tempest. I like the rudder shape better. They even have one with markings. They evolved into a plane with a radial engine. And I'm going to be reading the whole book so that while we're doing the drawings and the prototyping and Elliot's doing some rough work, what we're going to try to have is all the choices for paint work. Obviously this will be Brodak Dope at its best for the finish. Possibly a lot of carbon fiber development parts. But boy, I'm excited as I've ever been about this project. This is going to be a fun project. Again, the requirements were for this year were a plane with a short nose so that we could use a 4-cycle, and with a large cowl so that we could tuck in some of the valve gear and get a lot more side area up top. And this looks like it will be potentially an excellent choice. See, this is what I like about Squadron books, and if you're going to do any model, even a Mustang, having a Squadron book, they make a book for just about every plane in the world. They show you all the details of the development. So, for instance, if you're going to do the inking around the canopy, this would be a good source of information. Now, I was reading this, and one of the things that's interesting, why they painted the stripes on the bottom. These were not invasion stripes. These were visibility stripes. Because in flight, the planes, the Typhoons, looked a lot like FW-190s, and actually 4 were shot down by Spitfires before they came up with the idea of putting the black and white identity stripes on them. And it's cool as the stripes go right out onto the gear doors. It's going to make some fancy looking landing gear with this. But the scoop is the thing. I love that big scoop. Actually, we could just unscrew the cannons off of the Seafire and use them, make 2 more and use them over and over. I like that. Now again, the real Typhoon, the Typhoon variant, used a motor known as the Napier Sabre, a 24-cylinder, flat H-shaped motor, sleeve valve, pretty exotic motor. They had trouble with the connecting rods early on in the program, but it proved later on to be a over 2,000 horsepower engine and one of the fastest of the British fighters. It never was good above 20,000 feet. But they eventually transitioned into low-level attack with the big cannon armament, and the Typhoon became like a ground attack ship. I think that's going to make just a great, no matter which, see, these are not invasion stripes, these are identity stripes. It would be kind of cool. Anyway, just one of the choices we'll have. Those cannons. Different rudder shapes. This is all information we can use when actually drawing. Now see the inking part of this. This will be very valuable when laying out the ink lines. And it's my suggestion, no matter what, if you're doing a semi-scale model, first thing, get the Squadron book. Always a good choice. And actually, it's the reading that to me, I love to spend hours and hours reading about the history of these real aircraft. They served a real... One of the reasons we're all not speaking German, let's face it. They really did serve a purpose. And you speak to any of the people in England, and they speak with great reverence of all the planes, the Spitfires, the Typhoons, the Hurricanes, the whatever. Again, you could do a Rotoll 3-blade, and we've already been flying tradition experimentally here with just to see how the 4-cycle would turn a 4-blade. We'll have a lot of choices. I just think that's going to be so cool by looking in that scoop and seeing a big, either a laser or an OS Max or a YS, seeing some valve train. And I don't need to make it so I can choke the engine in there. See, that's one of the nice things. I don't need to make that. The scoop can be a lot more scale when you don't have to take into account you have to get your finger in there and choke the engine. A little picture of George Aldrich adjusting the valves on a 24-cylinder engine here. Great books. Now, even if your thing isn't semi-scale, if your thing is traditional stunners, Noblers, you know, whatever. It just, I think, knowing about how World War II, actually warbirds, how they evolved and some of the history of them, I think it's a nice little addition to anybody's modeling career. And we obviously already have a mold made for these exhaust stacks. We're probably not even going to have to make another mold. This thing is a Tempest evolved into a plane that had a radial engine. Cool just knowing this stuff. Looks like kind of a Seafire canopy. Canopy is relatively small in relation, because these are large aeroplanes. This is a plane that's much, much larger than a Spitfire. This would even make a nice model. Kind of a rare bare nose. Again, the development of the nose into the radial engine. And different radiator arrangements. This will be great when it comes time to do the inking. And just some of the late evolutionary things that probably never really came to fruition here. I need to read this more. I need to read the whole book. But, excellent book. Just, this is one of the parts of the hobby I personally enjoy. See, any ship that has the P on the side is usually a prototype. Prototypes, by the way, were always painted with the bottom yellow. Keith Drossel filled us in on that, and by the way, that's one of the choices we have, is the yellow bottom. It might make for a very interesting paint job. If you've never seen the Squadron, so I got this at a hobby shop locally, but you can get these in any Barnes & Noble. This is one of the ones we used last year. They make one, probably Paul Walker's got that one. They make them, they're great. Oh, free catalog, just like Windy. Here's the address. They're in Texas. This way Bob Gieske gets rich when you buy one. Oh, over 175 titles. Anyway, a great investment if you like to know more. The Billy Werwich kind of P-47. I should say Jerry Phelps, Bob McDonnell, include everybody. Bought Thunderbolt stuff. This would be a nice set. Now, see, if you had money unlimited, you know, or if you have a fellow modeler, you know, great Christmas present. Almost as good as a set of Windy videos. Nothing's as good as Windy videos. We are hoping to entertain you this winter with a really, look, I could do all the panel lines. But one of the things I've been thinking about doing, I saw this on Keith Drossel's model at the Nats, is doing these real semi-scale looking, lines I guess is the right word here. Anyway, I think this is going to make a real exciting winter. While Karen's upstairs cooking soup and Peeps is in the cage, and we're going to be laying up some carbon fiber here. Should be a lot of fun. Okay, we're actually on the flying site. We got 2 circles going the day before the contest. Mike Rogers is here, giving me some input on trimming out the 4-cycle. We got the Max 70 in here, a full 14-inch prop. Looks like we may even have a nice sunny day here. Mike is one of maybe the best, if not the best, one of the best at trimming out this type size airplane. He's had many of them. Always a good trim man, always willing to help. And we'll be getting some feedback from him as the day goes by. We expect to have some other test pilots here before the day's out. Early this morning by geese. I thought the only place they go is the circle burner field. Wrong. They're here to basically ruin our life. Anyway, we went through a couple of props already. We've been just trying to dial it into these conditions. The conditions look like they're going to be a little different than a circle burner air. Again, the thing that's holding us from getting even more fine tuning is we can't shim the prop anymore. You can see it always goes a little bit leaner on outsides. One of the things we're basically going to have to live with here until we make a purpose-built nose or cut this apart with a chainsaw. Not sure exactly how we're going to handle that either. The Mike, again, is always good for some feedback. He's always got some very good at trimming planes. Has a very delicate touch, so. And you have to keep in mind, this is in its infancy, and it would apply to any motor. I don't care what motor you have. If the tank isn't right, you have some parts of the pattern that are too slow and some are too fast. You always have a compromise there. I don't know if you can tell from looking at the day. It is a hot day. It's early in the morning. We're still eating donuts and it's hot. And sad to say, we were expecting Joe up here. He had an unexpected funeral at his family out in Pittsburgh, so he will not be joining us, but I know he's going to love this site. We're planning on doing a lot of our testing here. This looks like it's really going to add a new dimension to our package as the air is a lot cleaner than it is at the circle burner field, that's for sure. Test pilot Mike Rogers, flight 2083. And Mike doesn't have the whole day to spend here, but his input's been valuable. He's made some prop changes. Tried the 15% and the 10. Open the carburetor and shut it. Try to dial in at a lap time he'd be comfortable with. The only thing we have no air. It is absolutely stone dead thermal and off the concrete, so we're hoping we're going to get some air later, but it's backup city time, no different really than the circle burner field. Yeah, you can't find a wind. The wind is shifty. This is pointless. And it's dangerous when you go through your own air. That's another problem you could experience. But anyway, it's been a good day. You know, I'm glad Mike was able to join us. I don't know if he's going to make the meet tomorrow. Come out with his own plane, which he's got enough of them too. He's got an Air Force. Yeah, you see it rocking through its own air here. Even when I was flying it, boy, you better be backing up here, baby. Anyway, it looks like little by little we're learning more and more about these motors, and through Zambelli's website able to share the information, share our experience. What we've found works for us and what we've found is maybe not working. And I'm thanking everybody that's contributed to that really neat email site that Bob Zambelli's established at his, I guess he's doing it through his work. Probably costing his company a fortune to. Bob, every once in a while you got to design a whatever you do design in between doing the email for the 4-strokes. Anyway, give Bob the full credit for being the leader in this. Bob, Dennis, Toth, and all the people that have gone before us, and I don't even know how many there are, but there's plenty. There was plenty of them at Brodax, and we're just trying to do our share as part of the team to develop it and make it available to everybody that's interested. Not trying to have a contest, we're trying to add to the stuff that's available. As we find out the little things that seem to work and not work, are marginal. See if we can break some more props later today. Mike turned our original 14.5 into a 13.5. There's one bump on a whole field, Mike flies right into it. everybody who you are and how you came about having a plane that looks exactly like my 91 plane.
Good morning. My name is Len Smith. 53 years old. I've been flying.
Oh, you should retire at 53.
I'm one of the older guys, but I'm getting back into it.
All right.
Good friend of mine, Bruce Olson.
Okay, Bruce had...
I got some way to set you up. I got an airplane you'll like if you just drive up to New Hampshire. I got something for you.
Boy, I haven't seen this guy since I gave it to Bruce. Bruce was down by us the last time I saw him.
I went up there, and he had an old wreck of an airplane laying out in the yard.
Yeah.
I said, oh my God, to my wife, that's not the plane he's going to give me. No, went down the basement, he had this.
All right.
Great. A little bit bigger than what I'm accustomed to, but...
Well, you'll get used to it. You're a big guy. You'll get used to it. Actually, you're flying one of... There's only 4 20-point planes in the world, and this is one of them.
Wow.
There's only 3 others beside this.
I didn't know that.
Well, this is what happens. We have not found every bump in the parking lot, and what happened? This is really not funny. It hit a bump on takeoff, of all things, broke the prop, and I tried to hold it down on the ground, at which point it hit another rough bump and broke the fuselage. So everybody that knows me knows what's next. It's CA time. Never expect unlimited life from 15-year-old airplanes, but you know what? Just like Strega, this guy's life is not over yet. We're gonna make sure it's not over yet, since we're doing a lot of testing with this. Well, with the help of Jim Damerel, the epoxy's dry in less than an hour. We're going to let it dry in the sun while Jimmy and a couple of the other guys get some flights. And hope that it doesn't break in flight. That's the part I hate, is when it breaks in flight. Anyway, we will be very aware of trying to roll takeoffs here from now on. 3 broken props today. There is obviously some mysterious bumps we need to scope out. Jimmy's PM, another plane that's been had several repairs, and back flying again. Big Jim Super Tiger 60.
That particular motor, he shows you can't change the brushes.
After a big repair, Jim Damerel is going to be our new test pilot. We had a repair with a wire between the gear. The gear had busted in the ensuing aggravating crash. Not really a crash, but it went a lap with no propeller on the engine, so I guess we'll find out if that damaged the engine at all. It has been hot, 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 dead, dead, dead. Well, we have learned some more data in the database. All right, the end of a very first day at this new field, and we'll be back tomorrow for what I hope is going to be a nice weather for the contest. A night of, and I mean a night of heavy rain. The parking lot is half. Yesterday we roasted, today we're half underwater. Looks like they have an excellent turnout. And for the first contest, free bagels, free coffee, free donuts. How's that for an entry fee? Anyway, this will be the first contest run at this area. It's 8:01 and guys are already practicing. In fact, I see the Rudy man. Hey Rudy, anything you want to say to the bagel owners of the world? Look at this guy.
Keep the butter and the cream cheese coming.
That's pretty nice, huh?
Yeah.
One is okay. I don't care what they say about him behind his back. Free bagels. What kind of tricky stuff are we looking at here? 3 wings.
A little bit more conventional engine today, KMD 61.
Conventional? I thought you were the man of unconvention. You don't want to be like everybody else. If everybody wears a blue shirt, you'll wear red, right?
Oui.
Everybody else cheats on their wife, you'll be faithful, right? I don't think so.
I got a
Boy, I
good
put
one.
words in his mouth.
Oh, I got a good one.
Look at this muffler. What is this? I thought you had a piece of garden hose on it. Jeez. That's pretty low class, huh? What did you make this?
No, that's Max.
Oh, you bought it.
Yeah, I just cut the end of it off.
Wow.
It's actually for a 51 or 46.
This is bigger than the other one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look how big this thing is.
About 1,400 square inches.
Wow. You better have a 61 on it. How about a 91 four-stroke? I'll make a deal with you. I got a 91 four-stroke.
I had a Sato 65 on here.
Oh,
I pulled it around good.
91. Go for it, man. You're the man of unconventional airframes.
But they don't let you fly a 91.
Sure they do. Sure, you can go to 108.
I didn't know that.
I'm flying a 70 today.
Oh, I've got a 91 OS at home.
Put a 91 on here, you wimp. This is, you could turn a 15-inch prop.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go to, with four strokes, you can go much bigger.
A Sato 65.
Sato would be nice on there.
I got one.
Kid in the club just got 2 Satos that we haven't even run them yet. Yeah, let me know how that 90, send me some pictures of this with a 90, I bet it'll fly like the wind.
But you got a 70 in that plane?
I got a 70 in
Are
mine.
you flying that in the regular
Of course.
stunt?
What do you think I'm doing here?
Right.
Come on, this isn't church, my boy.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Remember that young man you told me his name?
Who?
Remember that Brodex, he flew that tribute to America? He flew the plane with the red, white, and blue streamers?
Banjock. Yeah, he'll be here today.
Dan Banjock.
Dan Banjock. Yeah, he's a lunatic. He'll be here today.
Good. Good.
He is a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Don't loan him any money, though.
I'm sure he could probably spend
He
it.
probably says, don't. No, he goes and buys more four-strokes.
Yeah, see? Oh, God.
You're practicing. Uh-oh, Suarez is on 12th practice flight. Beekman's practicing away here. Beekman smells trophy, I can tell.
I'm just flying to support the club.
Well, you want to support me, too? I'm in the club.
Support the flying site. So how's it going, Wendy?
It's going great, Sleep.
Good.
How's the arm? You doing okay now?
It was this.
Can I count on you for some labor of love here, or?
Not yet, because
Not
I
yet?
don't have strength. I don't
Oh,
have strength,
yeah,
and
okay.
I can't close my hand.
Oh, okay.
That's as much.
How'd you break this?
Not
Flipping
so
a four-stroke?
proud.
I heard you decked a guy.
Yeah.
I know, it's in your blood, Sleep.
No.
I heard
that
it.
was a stupid move, but
Yeah.
you don't
Last
know.
time I hit a guy, I went to jail. He got
I
the
got
money.
arrested. I got arrested. He didn't
That's
show
high
up.
school stuff, man. You don't do that when you're old. You get hurt.
Yeah, but how you know a guy?
I
Comes
know.
up and he
I
gets in
know.
your face. You don't know what he's got,
I
right?
know.
Yesterday.
Serious, you know. I'm not proud to say.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I paid the price for my my lack of good sense.
Hot, but
Hot but gorgeous.
But a lot of the field, believe me, we get out of the circle burner field with all the mosquitoes and everything. Look at what we get. We get gallons of water right where you want to land. Anyway, they'll probably put the scale circle over there. Oh, Rudy trying to figure out if his plane will float over here. Anyway, we expect it's going to burn off. It's supposed to be a hot day. Rudy gave me some nice P-51 books. We exchanged some tapes. He gave me some tapes and everything. A lot of fun. It's going to be a great day. Now, as much as I kid around with my buddy over here, we always kid around. Dave Midgley and I judged his smaller triplane. He seems to like German triplanes. And he really could put a 91 in here. Boy, would this be a showstopper. Look, he's got the prop clearance and everything. It's be unbelievable. Anyway, I hope he's going to do just that. It looks like he made the body out of sheetrock or something here. It'll be plenty strong. Anyway, the thing that always surprises me about the planes that this guy builds, and I'm not saying it, I've judged them at many contests. They fly really well. They even at Brodex, and they always seem to be a little bit of a showstopper because they're unusual. And this plane with a four-stroke, be even more, well, anything with a four-stroke is going to be unusual. But everybody is having fun. Brian got his 2 4-strokes. He's got a Sato now. It looks like we're going to be, I mean, don't misunderstand us. We're just trying to have some fun. This is the fun part of the year. And it looks like the 4-strokes have allowed us to even extend our envelope of fun. One of the people responsible for getting us the new site, Rich Jacobone, Rich Peabody, Jacobone, Hampshire, and myself, all have spent time. I've probably spent the least amount of time as anybody, and Rich and the 2 Riches have spent the most, but it's a reality now. We're having our first contest. The weather looks great so far. The turnout looks awesome. All of the funds will go to the Teterboro Museum, which we've had on a previous video, and you'd be very impressed. Having our club meetings down there has really turned out to be a lot of fun. Anyway, Rich on this is his second Strega, Jet 60. We have our Strega here today, just in case we crash the 4-stroke or somebody else crashes the 4-stroke. We got a couple of runs on the YS yesterday, but I want to have the directions say to run it at least an hour before you actually go fly it, and then run it for 10 flights at a rich setting. Well, we haven't done that yet either. I wouldn't want to waste a nice day like yesterday. We could do that on a windy day. The YS is coming. Tradition is repaired. Probably as soon as the contest is over, we'll have kind of a fun fly. Get to fly each other's planes as we always do. Soon to be a Brodak kit, the Strega. This is one of the first custom tune pipes I made was for Rich and for Dan Banjock. They'll both be here today. These are of the relatively new versions with the stingers built right onto the pipes at an angle. Save a little weight that way. We had a great day yesterday. We got Jimmy Damerell flew the plane, Mike Rogers. Got some feedback. We still need the biggest single change we have to make to that red plane is to get the tank shimmed for further away from the mounts. Now Jimmy was going to make a tank with some different venting to try today. So obviously once the contest is over, we'll try to get a few flights on it. Very easy to change the tank. Boy, I'd like to see that big triplane with a 91. I'd like to see Tradition with a 91. Rich has been trying to make his maneuvers smaller. That's been the thing he's been concentrating on when we've coached him along. Now you got to realize that our field here, this field, relative to the circle burner field, the grass field, the trim on a plane changes quite a bit. A field like this usually requires some getting used to. This is a lot more like a Nats site would be. It's more directional, certainly less turbulent. And I think it'll be a valuable tool in the future getting ready for Nats-type contests, team trials. Certainly Billy Suarez has been flying since daybreak here. He's getting some flights in over on the back circle. Always put it to good advantage. Richard, and we do thank you for all the work you put in getting us this field. You're the man. This in the driver's seat, you?
1950.
Who'd have thunk it? If you could have seen into the future and see what a handsome dude you'd become. Great. You get all flushed out?
Yeah, it's better now.
Did that work?
I'm flushing and changing the filter.
Right,
The fuel
right.
line seems to be alright yet.
Okay. If you need fuel line, I got some fuel line.
Plug fuel line and or fuel plug filter and flush other.
When you have a crazy run, it's just easier to do all three of them at once.
Yeah.
Change it all, it's always gonna, because there's nothing else it can be.
No, because we were having good runs and all of a sudden you took off and started running.
Yeah. The Cardinal shows up ready to land on his perch.
Gentlemen.
Hey, Mike.
Hi, Wendy.
Back in one piece.
Hello.
After an exam. Here's a man learning how to speak English.
Hello.
Say the word hello.
Hello.
Using that cheap phone service that he gets for $1 a month.
Where is this? How
Oh.
does this thing work?
I don't know. I don't do that stuff.
Billy flies well.
Oh.
Flying slow. There's another real fly.
Rich, are you there? Luis Suarez down from Connecticut. Everybody's getting nervous here. It looks like it's getting a little cloudy and breezy, but still definitely a flyable day. Say your prayers, guys, but knowing Mother Nature, in Jersey, Mother Nature usually wins. Rich using a GMA Jet 60. Yeah, Rich, just do it right in my face. No problem. No problem. Expert cameraman on duty. Anyway, I'm guessing pretty soon they're going to start official flights. And we just hope we're going to have the weather hold up. Boy, yesterday was beautiful. This morning was beautiful. Hope this afternoon we don't get a surprise Hurricane Zelda or something here. Rich's wife is going to be graciously keeping score for us today, and we thank her ahead of time also. Look at that body English. Oh, we're so proud of you. Ryan, is there anybody with worse body English in the whole world than Rich Jacobone? Yeah, look at the mouth. Look at the mouth. If I was a bee, I'd fly right into his mouth.
When you land.
Pilot meeting? Okay. Alright, this is the last practice flight. We'll be doing officials soon. Will be the first contest of our shakedown. We still don't have the tank shimmed right. It's a shame. It is somewhat of a handicap, and Jim Damerel will be making us a tank with different venting. We'll try that soon. But this will be our first 4-stroke contest. There'll certainly be enough competition here. We got some good competition and some good weather. Need a hand, or you got everything under control? Everything's okay?
We're okay, yeah.
Okay, good. The infamous hog toad. For the pilot meeting right now.
All right, I'm going to go up and see Rich.
4-stroke, Neil?
No, it's not mine. I'm getting used to it.
You like it?
It's only about maybe
What is that, a 26?
26.
All right, it's a Surpass, though.
Yeah,
Banjock has a lot of luck with his.
I seen it. That's what turned me on.
Well, the little ones, I think, run really great.
I have a Sado 30 on.
Yeah, that triplane that you
That
had.
was a 56, but I brought a couple of Sado 30s and on a Ringmaster. I got one on Ringmaster, and the thing keeps cutting out on me.
You run the too lean.
Oh.
Run it richer.
Okay.
So you can't readjust it.
It's a little tricky getting the adjustment.
Would you mind? Stunt, control line only, right. I'm George Yatsko. I'm the new... Oh, no, that happens to be... Oh, okay, I can't blame it.
You hear in the background there's some RC racing boats going on right on the river here on the end of the field. Maybe waddle. They could actually be, they could do them in the parking lot here, for crying out loud.
Get 2 sets of score sheets, but they may convince a little bit for it. Again, I'd like to this is this site we have the use of, with the exception of maybe now 2 days.
Throw it over their heads, Rudy.
1 or 2 days. Till the pool reopens. We're also hoping to get a permanent flying site here in Bergen County, but we'd like to keep this politically alive so that we can...
That pilot looks like he's falling asleep in the cockpit. What happened to him?
He's got to see. He's got to be able to see.
Yeah.
He's got to see that pylon. Otherwise,
Wow.
you hit that pylon.
Oh, that could ruin your whole day.
Yeah, it hurts, huh?
Well, I used to fly the air coupe like that. I put my head out the window, almost lost my eyes. That is cool.
Okay, for Kenny.
One eye out, peeking around a corner.
Stevie, you get about 100 extra points if you could land right in the middle of that lake out there. That'd be funny, Ruben, you and I'd build a seaplane and we land on the ground. You put floats on a plane? You can tell it really rained last night. Old-time stunt going on over in the back circle, intermediate on the front, expert in the back and the corner. They put us in the back to punish us. Can't believe we're being punished. Rich Peabody demonstrating the finesse of piloting old-time stunt planes. Dance, Rich! Dun, 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 dun. Do, 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 do. This is for all the marbles, baby. There's no fooling around now. You go right into that lake.
I just saw something interesting. There's a tent moving by itself here somewhere. Dun, dun. The rug merchants are back moving their tent. Look at this.
Cosmonato would be jealous of that.
I'm ready. No, I didn't get full. Okay. You got it? I got it.
Still kicking, still alive after all these years.
Come on. You gotta have a clock.
Starting tomorrow wouldn't be early enough for me. When the contest is over today.
I don't have a watch. You guys gotta stop.
Yeah, I got a watch, yeah.
Now, wait a second.
They're on judge watch training.
Some of them actually with the top, some with the bottom.
Neil Beekman, the amazing, one and only Neil Beekman. Jimmy, did you hear those boats before over there?
Were those model boats or
Yeah.
or something?
No, model. Well, maybe. I'm going to go over and take a look at them. I wouldn't want to be running a jet ski in the Hackensack River and fall off.
Exactly.
When you get in the focal point. Okay, but it's usually in that line.
He will have a heart attack.
And if you don't point, Sleepy will punch you. He'll run out in a circle and punch you out.
He will have a heart attack before the first flight. I swear he will.
I'm sure. Look at this. There's,
I don't know how to do this.
hey, doesn't this, Jimmy, doesn't this look like an alien coming out of the sky or something over here? Look at this, a table walking across. Aliens, aliens, aliens.
New show on the Discovery Channel.
Neil Beekman first official flight. Billy, how's that field where you are working out? Okay or not so good? The practice feel any good?
Testing tanks, stuff like that. After that, nice and clear up.
Well, it's good to be over a big piece of concrete too, because you got the hot thermals coming up. And that's something you always have to deal with at the Nats, that's for sure. You're never going to fly over grass at the Nats. You always got that hot air where the plane's rising up out of maneuvers. I think this is going to be good.
Take them all.
Well, the nearest house is quite a ways away. You would really have to.
Yeah.
I mean, you're.
Dynajets.
Yeah, you'd have to be doing Dynajets here to get
We
me.
can do Dynajets here. We gotta get what's his name here.
Oh, wow, we don't have an electric Dynajet on that thing.
Yeah. Electric Dynajets, the wave of the future.
Would you hate the budget? Let me have my chair.
Go get it.
Yeah, there's another one there.
No, I don't need it. Don't need it. I was just sitting there because it was empty. Uh-oh. Okay, Neil, that answers that question. All right, Neil. Hey!
As long as he had cement feet, I wasn't too worried about it. He wasn't going to run back. We were okay.
I think the calibration's different on this asphalt though.
Soon to be fitted with a 91, the trike.
over?
No, I stayed over last night at Hampton. Yeah. Right over here. Yeah. Well, actually, we made them give us a new room at 11 o'clock at night. They had us like right in the lobby.
You were sleeping in the lobby at a motel.
The room they gave us is almost in the lobby.
And you hear all the noise, people coming in?
Yeah.
Billy, what motel are you staying with up in Massachusetts? Are you going to go home? When you find out, give me a call so Karen can make reservations. Ask her to call Karen, because Karen doesn't know where she wants, you know. This is in Wyndham? Dave Cook sent Karen directions. Whoa! Oh, we almost had a triplane turn into a biplane here. Whoa! This is getting to be an exciting flight. Who said Venetian blinds don't fly? He's the only guy that does a pattern with 17 maneuvers. The last maneuver is I still got an aeroplane.
Thanks, Jim.
mishap with Jim Damerell, a broken prop, unfortunately. Move on to the next flight.
lunch being hand delivered. Hey! Picture this, pizza's being delivered, jack-o'-bones flying, they're flying on a back circle, they're racing boats in the river. What else are they doing over here? You're a little old to be a pizza delivery boy. Now this is on the field pizza delivery. Check it out, let's see what we got. Oh! Oh! It doesn't get any better than this.
Alright.
You don't have to be hungry to eat pizza either. Neil Beekman's second official flight. Now old Neil's been sitting here in the pits with us eating pizza. I swear it looks like he had about 9 slices. But he's just so jealous of Wendy because I've been gaining weight. He says, boy, look at that. Wendy's gaining weight. His finishes are nice and shiny. Maybe the trick is you eat a lot of pizza. Well, Neil, you're right. Eat a lot of pizza. That's the deal. The deal for Neil. Eat a lot of pizza. We are just having a great day. It's held out air-wise, except for one broken prop on Jimmy D's plane. I don't think there's been any crashes at all. And it just doesn't get a whole lot better than this. Now I've heard, maybe it's erroneous, we gotta find out. Billy Suarez, was seen getting a massage under the tent over there. The guy with the triplane's been giving out back massages. I hope he's not wearing high heels when he does it. Now one of the side benefits of today, when I go home, Peeps is going to be in that cage all day today, and he's going to really let me know he's not happy. There'll probably be half of my airplane parts will be in his cage. His model airplane business is working out pretty well for him. Be it extra seeds, extra grapes, extra worms. But he really gets unhappy when I go away and leave him alone all day. Neil Beekman, second official. The Neilster. The contest day winds down. Umbriago here is going to... Oh, they didn't have this much trouble fueling the real Fokkers for crying out loud.
I didn't know that.
That World War II, no wonder they lost the war. They couldn't fuel the planes fast enough. No, the Americans had, you know, regular fuel tanks. Look at this, pointed up, pointed down, pointed over, pointed left. The wind's blowing it. Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah, I can't.
God, this guy's such a hassle. Look at what he's got in this box. We videotaped this before. It isn't even fun.
No, this is that other plane. My God! That one was hey, that isn't the same plane.
Is that a battery for your pacemaker if you start having a heart attack in the middle of a flight? Look at the hat. Check the hat out. This is pretty nice.
This isn't the same plane.
What's this growing up
this
here?
This isn't the same plane. That was only 5-foot wingspan. This is 5 foot and 2 inches.
Oh!
2,000
square inches. You need the 91. Listen, I'm making a four cycle videotape. You need, Brian, doesn't he need a 91 4-stroke in here?
Yeah, I think he needs a 120.
120?
I said it a little.
Nobody will know. These guys are judge. They don't measure anything.
I said it a little richer. Maybe one on like a speed cycle. Hold on to revolutions.
This guy has unlimited strength.
Keep it right there.
Yeah, don't drop it. Hemostat, thermostat, car battery, a quart of what's in here? Lipton tea, Quaker Oil. Who else you know has a quart of Quaker Oil?
Hemostat.
You got to clean this toolbox out a little bit. Wow. You got to get a leaf blower and blow some of the garbage.
There's a hemostat holding this.
Look at the junk this guy brings.
I clean this box every time I win first place.
I lived in a mobile home that didn't have as much junk in it.
You haven't won first place in quite a while then.
Well, you're getting the Funny Toolbox of the Year award here, one way or another.
Okay.
You gonna go to Brodax next year?
I think so.
He doesn't want you to go.
Why?
He said you're no fun to be with. Hey, and I want to see you land this right in a puddle out there. Can't we do something to his toolbox? Can't we disconnect the battery? This is like an accident waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Can't we set a smoke bomb off?
Sorts of wires.
You need a smoke detector on the toolbox.
He says to me this morning.
This is unbelievable. I don't carry this much stuff.
He says, I got a quart of fuel.
The USS Missouri went to war without this much
how many flights you can get. I said, well, it's 6 ounces of flight, that's 5 I know you can get. It gives you 2 ounces left over. Oh, God.
Yeah, not that one. With all his junk, he's going to fly into his tool.
A little less Ungala and a little bit more airplane.
All right. All right.
We got to get serious here.
Talk is cheap. What comes? Why is this wire going in here?
We got to get serious.
An electric starter. Only a sissy would use an electric starter.
Yeah, Wendy. Since when did you become a sissy?
Yeah, you see my finger with 14 stitches in it?
Did you? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It didn't even heal yet. Anybody wants to see the scar is still there.
Okay.
It hurts. No more flipping. No more flipping. Look at this. He's got amperage. He's got voltage. He's got his fumostats and his humostats and his banana-shaped muffler and tank siphoning into the muffler.
I have one of those.
We're just about ready here. Where's the judges?
No wonder these guys didn't win the war. Here come the English. Get the Fokkers ready. Oh no.
I have one of those Max mufflers on my 40. It runs.
It's alive! Get the toolbox. Neil, get the toolbox. You guys gonna kill him. Umbriago. Could be the mayor of New York or of Chicago. Now this is the essence of model aviation. We love this guy, by the way. He's like the Paul Winter of Connecticut or wherever he lives. Actually, this is true. He gave Billy Suarez a back massage between rounds. Look at all the junk he's got out here. Oh, don't let your children grow up to be Fokker pilots. The Fokker Schmidt. Believe it or not, this thing does fly good. It needs a 91 4-stroke so bad. Look at that. The Flying Venetian Blind. I can just hear Buzz Brodak now saying, "Oh, Wendy, he's such a good guy. Don't tear into him." Nah, Buzz, we love this guy. We love him. We love him like we love Peeps. He's a lot of fun. And by the way, Peeps is jealous jealous. Johnny Duncan got here with the foam wings. Anybody out there looking for foam wings, give this Johnny Duncan a quick call before he goes out of business. He needs the money to make he's got a new house, new shop. I wonder when something like this doesn't fly level, where do you put the trim tab? I wonder if they'll let me fly it. We actually are finished with the contest. This is the last flight. The lights are on, in fact. And we've had a great day. The rain held out. The contest was just fabulous. I think everybody had a genuine good time. And now we've got another area added to our great places to fly in the non-beach months. We can't use this from Labor Day to Memorial Day, but hey, the rest of the year, to get a lot of flying done in between. Could be the mayor of New York or of Chicago. Better send for Umbriago. He's got lots of time. He never spends a dime. I'm telling you too, the plane flies better than you ever expected to fly. Always amazing, but he needs that 91. Nice 91. Turning a 16-inch prop. Easy, Jim, easy. Totally good flying air all day. And offering the challenge of seaplane landings between rounds.
How are you?
Watch the toolbox, back up. Whoa! Oh, look at him! Back up, back up! Back up, hey! That's why you guys didn't win the war. Anyway, Johnny Duncan's back in business. Let's see some of those foam wings, Duncan. Pick one up.
That was a windy flight.
That was a windy flight, all right. That'll be a hard act to tell. Look at these foam wings coming out.
Bye.
Okay, what's your phone number?
583-8839. Area code 518.
Saratoga Springs, New York.
Got his new shop set up in his new house. We'll wait when it's over. What, do we got to go home or something?
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Watch out for my box because at the Nationals in practice I broke this in half, hitting my box.
Oh, I never broke.
It again today.
I broke a plane in half yesterday, I know. Makes you feel dumb, doesn't it?
Yeah. That happens once.
I know, I felt pretty dumb yesterday looking at the plane in two pieces.
Which plane was it?
Will you give me a hand?
Got it, you really. Look at this. That wild. The old you really days. Ah, you can't hurt these things, Neil.
On concrete you
Come on. Sleepy will fly it if you're a wimp.
I landed my other one upside down on concrete. Hands it up.
I wonder if you could make one with 3 wings and call it a tri-slob. I know where we can get one too. Cheap. Look at the header. He's got a Mac header on there and everything.
Yeah.
Boy, Banjack's probably jealous as hell.
Gotta stop making fun of my relative. I'm not a tri-slob. I'm not a bi-slob. I'm a poker strip.
I'm moving over here.
Neil Beekman. Now, normally if Banjack were here, their club had a demo they had to do down at the Philly area, so we missed them today. They were due to be up here if they could somehow sneak out of the demo. Didn't work out. And to see both of these fly together the way they did at, oh man, at Brodax, it was just unbelievable. Anyway, I really would like to see that triplane fly with a 91. I think that'd be cool as hell. Trying to make Duncan rich. We haven't taught him how to advertise yet. This is how you advertise. You put things on video. You get orders right away. There's no advertising charge. Email at dunks2vegas, not too creative, at juno.com. It's the address we got to get now. This is your new house? Where's the address?
Oh, our house address?
Well, what the hell are you going to do? Mail us to a computer? Duncan, this is why some people don't get rich in business, and some people wind up... Maureen. Duncan, you need your name and address. The first thing people want to do is send you a check.
Yeah, money.
Look at this. Money. Yeah, even your kid knows this. Come on. Duncan, Brodak, name, address. You look at a Brodak catalog. What's the first thing? Where to send the money. Man, this is not hard to figure out. Hathorn Boulevard. Okay.
Saratoga Springs.
Now we're on step one to making a successful business. People know where to send the money. Okay. You also need to put on here overseas shipping and USA shipping, whatever you think, costs. Because people want to know, the first question somebody's going to want to ask is if they want to ship a wing to Australia or New Zealand, how much does it cost? So you got to kind of come up with some figure.
What's your website address?
What's your website? One email, dunks2vegas. Who makes this stuff up?
That was a mistake.
No!
I don't know nothing about a computer.
That sounds like a place of ill repute or something. It's not. Look at this guy. Now, here's a man who knows how to run a business. Look at the deal. He shows up here now. He's the head. What's your function at the Aviation Hall of Fame Museum?
The New Jersey Aviation Hall.
He made a cigar box full of money and didn't do a thing all day. That's my kind of business. Shows up with a dirty shirt on and a can of beer in the car, and he's
Wait a minute.
going home with a shoebox of money. Now that's the business I want to have in my old age.
There you go.
That shoebox of money that you don't have to work for.
There you go. Oh, good.
Feed him a finger or something. Come on, be a man. Be a man.
Yeah, puppy teeth.
Oh, yeah. What he needs, let's feed him that triplane.
Hey, you know what? Really, when you think about it, Wendy? This is control line.
Yes, control line dog. As opposed to RC, where the dog runs out in the highway and gets squashed like a tomato.
Control line puppy.
RC dog.
Control line.
Duncan, we got to get you. If you want to be real, he makes them. Listen to this. He makes them flyers. There's no place to send the money. Who the hell is going to buy some? Oh, so nice plaques. Look at this. Neil Beekman, the King of New York. All right.
Okay, let's gather around here. Hello. First of all, we're going to award. We had some fun scale people. Roy Ward got 2 trophies. He got 3rd place in old time stunt, and he won fun scale, but he went home. You got to be in it to win it. So in 2nd place in fun scale was the trifoker man with the 2nd heaviest toolbox on the planet.
Hey!
How windy does.
Yeah, you want to carry my toolbox around all day?
In old time stunt, we had an interesting occurrence because I won. So that it shows.
That invalidates everything.
I never did that before. They never did.
Yeah, but you gave us a $50 bill.
They're cool. That's it. They did it for the money.
You gave us a little vibration show.
And 2nd place was Neil Beekman.
Hey! Where's the Neilster? Hey!
Okay. We had beginners.
Let's see the trophy.
Frank Ecabellis won the beginner event. He went home.
You're quite a guy.
In 2nd place, where's 2nd place? There he is. What's your name?
Al Yankowski.
Al Yankowski.
The B-Man. Hey! Free honey for everybody. He raises bees.
Okay, now the judges faded in the last 2 rounds of this. They just they went up the wall. They ran out of numbers. Okay, Mister, is this Gast? Gost was in 3rd place. Congratulations.
Hey!
Trifoker man, Mr. Sumner, came in second.
Boy, they must have really faded.
Okay, and winning intermediate, and I think how many times you won this now? Where's that kid?
Oh, that kid.
Oh, that kid! Oh, no! Oh, no, that kid!
He's killing it. He's killing
Oh!
it. He's Fletcher.
Oh! Hey!
Okay? And an advanced stunt, Mike Cooper, who I want to thank you guys for judging. We really appreciate that. With Mike Cooper and Rich Jacobone, we're judging.
All day.
Wait, who else?
You look sunburned. You look like a movie star.
We got everybody judged. We appreciate the hell out of that. And also to Sue and what's that, Pat, right? And Terry for getting them aimed right. Teresa for
whip them into shape, Terry.
You know, the tabulation is absolutely, I mean, watching the grass grow is probably as much fun. So thanks to the tabulators.
Hey!
Where's that lady who was suffering from heat exhaustion? Is she gone already?
She went home.
Yeah, tell her he said thanks.
Mike Cooper was in third place. Thank you.
Hey, Mike!
The guy who really got this event going, and again, if you got something positive to say, tell it to Rich. If you got a complaint, complain to me because I'm used to it and it just goes out the other side.
Nice shirt.
Okay? And he flies backwards. So does Goss, by the way.
Hey!
Anyway, second place advance. Thank you.
All right, Richard! Oh! Stringer!
No, you sound like Aldrich. And I happen to win old time or advanced here. I don't understand that either. Good flight.
Oh!
It shows if you got a good flying airplane
You better send that trophy to Randy.
and $50. Right. Yeah, all right. Lynn came in third place. Came down from Massachusetts. First time we've seen her out here.
Hey!
That was the grace of the Lord.
Hey!
Got Wendy's 20-point airplane here. Okay? Billy Suarez came down here, and it's just not quite windy enough here.
Oh, boy.
You know,
Do they know how to rub it in, Bill?
I can do the dead air too, baby.
Oh! Hey!
It's great, thank you. And Wendy, with a 3,000 flight airplane that I saw broken in half yesterday.
Broken in half, there it is.
What time did you go to bed this morning? What time did you go to bed this morning?
That's it. And again, if you,
I fixed it at the field.
One thing I'd like everybody to do is
You can have that to put in your bedroom, and when Johnny says, who's windy, you can point to that.
Call and get the trash into the cans over there. Okay?
This is
Thanks, I
very
appreciate
lovely
everything.
airplane.
Now, again, we had a great contest yesterday. I stayed up all night to make a tank. One of the problems we've had since day one with this airplane is never being able to get the tank shimmed far enough away from the mounts. Now, with Mike Rogers, it was his idea to try to put a vent here, and of course I took the back off the tank, put it in a new vent. I'll just cap this one off, because if it doesn't work, I can go back to the original vent. I don't know if it's going to drain the tank. That tube is down in this corner. Jim Damerell had an even better idea, but I didn't have time to make a tank. It would be just to make a tank where the point was down in that corner, and we have plenty of tank material. Another problem that we've had from time to time is getting the tank so close to the engine. These engines have throttles and things, and the tubing would rub on it, and you'd get pinholes, especially with the YS. This one's not too bad, but I think it's very significant that in a matter of less than 2 months, we've managed to take a 14-year-old plane that's been broken in half in the last 2 days, and a relatively new, I guess Bob Zambelli's got a little more time than I do, but relatively new powertrain, and raise the level of performance to at least where you can compete an expert and be competitive. Now, the next step, of course, to take this to the next level, we don't have the laser yet. I'm saving this plane for the laser, but I do want to have the ability to shim that tank, because the laser has the carburetor even lower in the engine. So the next thing is, before I go any further with this, I want to take it, pull the engine and tank out, run a couple of flights with this tank to see if
Mike's idea is worth trying. Now, I've tried this. Billy Simons tried it on 2 strokes. Didn't work real effective. Again, we'll find out. But it looks like what I may have to do is just make a whole purpose-built tank. But because very soon, maybe even this week, we'll have Wayne's tooling to start making carbon fiber tanks. Well, maybe we'll be able to start making some real custom sizes and shapes, and, well, that's to be seen. For right now, the next step in this program is to get the tank shimmed equal. Now, as everybody probably knows, I've been involved in developing Super Tiger 60s, Jets, Rossies, YSs, various other engines that have had some measure of success. But one thing this package has is this has by far been the easiest out of the box, put a wood prop on it and fly the plane setup that I've ever experienced. There's been less work. In fact, we haven't even made anything like a Venturi yet, although we do have one under construction at this time. Because if this tank shim doesn't work, then I need to move the carburetor. I'm going to need to machine a piece or make a Venturi or something equivalent to that. I really don't know, and I've heard expert people give me both opinions that it doesn't matter where you put the tank, where you put the pickup tube, and other people say it doesn't matter where the carburetor is. Well, there's always one really good way to find out, and that's just do the test yourself. And then you can find out who really knows what they're talking about and who's, less knowledgeable. I want to learn today, as kind of an exercise, is there's certainly a lot of different people that have a lot of different opinions about tank shims and heights and shapes and baffles and no baffles, but there's certainly room for more than one opinion here. And a lot of that, I think most of it in fact, is based on generally accepted 2-cycle technology. But what I want to find out, and it may be that we can use this in our response to Zambelli's column that seems to be going out to about 50 people now. Seems like it's bigger and more exciting even than RC Online, but there's a lot of people interested in this, and I think as people buy 4 cycles, one of the things they're going to run into is that they're going to realize the tank does not get shimmed exactly the way a 2-cycle does. Maybe a tank shape that's more appropriate for 4 cycles, because we're going to start manufacturing carbon fiber gas tanks soon. Well, I certainly want to be on the leading edge of having some clue as to what's going on with that technology. This is one of the things that I really think is a good idea, that whoever invented this, the double nut system, the locking nut, we have yet to have a propeller come loose in all the time, and that's probably going on 8 gallons of fuel. And we've had it backfire many times, we've had it start backwards many times, but we've yet to lose a prop or we lost a finger showing off, or whatever you want to call it. Highly recommend using an electric starter. Every manufacturer recommends nothing but starting with electric starters. I'm sure part of that is a CYA, but anyway, what I like about having this for a test plane, it's really easy to pull it all apart and change things, because as this package develops, I want to be able to take this whole package and go right into the Typhoon or the next test ship. Things that I really do like is when you take the engine out, you really don't have to even take the muffler off, and we need to design that cowler on it. Now, just to show this little gizmo that's worked extremely well. This is where we run the throttle, and it's probably, I'm gonna guess that's 2/3 throttle. We almost never have to run it any faster than that, but if we did want it to go faster, when Mike was flying a plane, he wanted to go slower. We backed out a turn, backed out another turn, got the lap times down to about 5.4, at which point maybe you could even go further, but that was about the point at which Mike was comfortable. Other people seemed like Mike Kajeski seemed to like to fly it faster. It's an infinitely adjustable thing. You just use the idle stop screw. Now, I also made up this little, I'll call it a test Venturi. We're not gonna deal with it today. I just want to do tanks today. But the idea is, if I could take this carburetor and just move it maybe 1/4 of an inch closer to the mounts, then the tank shim would all work out with standard Brodak tanks. I wouldn't have to make anything. The stuff Rich Peabody gave us, the header sealer, looks like this is after several gallons of fuel. I think this is totally okay, and I can just clean that up next time I have it out of the plane. You can see where I ground the valve cover down when I broke the plane in half. But I would say
right here. This is about as foolproof as, and every time I take the motor out, I now have a complete set of real metric wrenches. I can go around, check all the screws. I have yet to find a loose screw. I have never even taken the valve cover off. I assume at the 7 or 8 gallon mark, I should be taking that off and checking it, but so far it's given me no indication that that it's not right. And I've heard, like from Bob Dixon, that he's never taken it off in 4 years of flying, so maybe it isn't that critical of a thing. The whole thing I like, and I don't know if this would work on 2-cycle engines, but if yesterday, for instance, the wind got any worse, I would just go in a click, in effect, just like driving your car. Having this adjustment, I know this carburetor weighs over an ounce, and I could lighten up the plane. And there's other benefits probably by making a Venturi, but for right now, this has shown me a whole new way to control the speed of the model. And we've wound up with these 14.5 props that we can control the speed from going 4.8 down to about 5.6, I guess. And it gives us such a wide range. A big motor always gives you range, always gives you a lot of choices. You don't have to run this motor hard. It runs at 2/3 throttle, and it makes the kind of power that I think we're going to be able to fine-tune this even further by the time we get the season over and get started building the Typhoon. For any plane is the radius, that sharp edge, because on a 4-cycle these tubes tend to make some pretty snaky bends by the time they get to the engine. And I also like to put some kind of threads on it so that the tubing doesn't tend to slip off. Good tip no matter what engine you're running. Get all those radiuses nice and smooth. The tip I've found is just go out and buy a roll of this stuff, because as you're changing tanks and motors and doing it, you wind up trying to use up old tubing, and what happens right at the end, it starts to get soft and it has a tendency to leak. If you use new tubing, or if you even just do this, where it ends, just clip it off. What happens is now this piece has a fresh bite onto the tube. Another good little tip for reliability, especially around filters, or if you're running any kind of muffler pressure or pipe pressure or anything. Well, I think 90% of the things that happen to average modelers and with average planes is they have pinholes in the tubing, kinks in the tubing, leaks at the filter, and it's such a cheap investment. Once you buy a roll, it lasts for a couple of years, and then you, beginning of the year, change the tubing, put all new tubing on, done. You'll go through a whole season without a problem. Thing that I saw somebody Sunday, I was nervous about it. The tightening props with those little T-wrenches that they give you. If you have a 70, any 4-stroke, I think, every one of them cautions you against using those little toy wrenches. Get automotive wrenches for a couple of dollars. In this case, it's a cheap investment, because if that prop comes loose on a backfire. Another thing I found that's real important is we were setting the compression on this, so it was up here was top dead center. Well, the prop always seems to stop at top dead center on a 4-cycle. It stops like that, and we were chipping and nicking props the other day. In fact, virtually everybody that was at that field was breaking props. I don't know what the deal is. There's just a lot of funny little bumps that you don't see. But with this system, I think it's just a lot, it's a lot more realistic. And we're back at the club field today. I'm not going to be able to use that field now until next week. No, not next weekend, the weekend after next. They're having some kind of a fireman convention or something over there. But in the meantime, we get to test. The more fields we can use to test, I'm thinking maybe this weekend we'll get down to Middlesex too. I know Joe Adamusco's got his YS all fitted up. We still need to work with that YS again. But now this will prove to me, or even if it's wrong and I have to put the other tank back in, I don't care. What I care about is that I'm learning. And I'm not learning from hearsay or from some other method of second or third or fourth hand information, possibly from people that have never really even done the test. There's really not that many people that have really done the test. What you find out later is, oh, he didn't really test it. He was a good idea, though. Well, I don't want to get involved in that. That's for sure. Now, another thing that's happening is, as this motor, as I said, this is going to be 7. We're going to start gallon 8 today. But what's happening? This motor is getting stronger and stronger. I mean, I just can feel the compression is just tremendous. When it was new, it was kind of
Now I'm assuming the YS is the same. We don't have enough break-in time on the YS really to start doing stunt patterns, but it seems like these motors do need a lot of run-in time. I don't know if that's typical of all of them, or if I've just got one that maybe was fitted up tight from the factory. But before we lose the wind, let me see if this is going to give me any feedback or data I can use in the future. Long day of testing and pulling this apart and whatever. I've come to the conclusion this is not going to work as well as I wanted it to. It cures it somewhat, a little tiny amount, but it isn't enough. What I really need to do is move the carburetor for the next part of the test. And we're coming to the end of this video, so I don't want to stop right in the middle of it. But tank testing is going to have to go forward on the next tape. It's still not shimmed. I'm saying we're getting closer and closer and closer, but still don't have it shimmed exactly the way I wanted it. And even with the original tank, it wasn't perfect. This one, it's a little better, but it's not exactly what I want. I still want to get it that it doesn't have that little tendency to speed up on outsides. Not sure if that's going to be the carburetor, the tank shim, or the tank itself, but we're certainly going to keep working on this in the future. This is really what developing this stuff is all about. It's long, hot days at the field. A lot of times you spend the whole day and you think you didn't learn anything, but you learned something that didn't work. In this case, we've eliminated one possibility for, well, something that might have gone untested and we'd never really know. Thing today I wanted to try, and this is just strictly a test. You can see this is the carburetor we have with the spring wiring it open. I wanted to see, now I know moving the tank doesn't matter, or it matters very little, but you can see what I made is a little test piece that I can move this up and down, and see where the needle valve is, much lower, or much higher in the plane. But what I can do is shorten or lengthen this little tube, and I want to see if this is an effective way, because if this works, then I know I just have to connect the carburetor with some kind of a little slider arrangement there, and that would just be a machine shop job. And I marked on here with a little scratch exactly where the needle valve was. Now I don't know if it's the needle valve or the engine. These tests are going to go on in the next couple of days. But once that tank is shimmed properly, I think we can move to the next level, and this is just going to be time consuming. And the worst that can happen, I'm going to make a tank, a thinner tank, so that the mean average point of the fuel head is further up in the plane. So I really don't want to cut that plane. It's so oil soaked. 15-year-old plane. Be all the testing we get time for today. And I hope I know, well, we're at the end of the tape anyway. I hope I know by the time this day is over if I have to make a tank or if that Venturi is going to be able to adjust it. Really don't know, and I really want to know firsthand if that's going to be an appropriate choice. Anyway, thanks a lot for joining us. Mel's out there flying his P-38. And we got to get back to the shop. Please share the videos. Share them with all your friends. Have a great time. Talk about a project that would be nice with 4-strokes. Wow. I know Mel likes 4-strokes too.